To say that India are in a bit of a conundrum after the first test against England would be an understatement. Not only have England shown that they are prepared to take on India and impose their basketball style of play in conditions that most thought would not really be suited to this kind of a style of play, India now are having to deal with issues regarding team selection due to a number of injuries to key personnel cropping up. This has understandably left fans and even former cricketers and experts worried, saying that maybe India perhaps need to kind of reevaluate what are the tactics they're going to use, both in terms of their team composition as well as potentially when it comes to deciding what kind of a pitch that you will be playing on for the second test. It's worth noting that the Hyderabad pitch, which was of course most thought would be a rank turner, wasn't that at all. Yes, there was turn on offer, but generally speaking, after the first day, on which the wicket was admittedly a little bit on the slower side, it did get better to bat on day 2, day 3 before offering up significantly more turn on day 4, which is when the test match ended. So are India going to continue producing a pitch like that given they lost on such a pitch? Or are they going to go towards making the kind of rank turners that you've been used to seeing for the past 3 years? Well, if there is, let's say, any hesitation, then there is advice coming from former India cricketer Harbhajan Singh advising against going in that direction, saying that, look, you don't necessarily need to go that way because you could fall into your own trap. Why? Well, we'll get to that point in just a bit, but first it's worth noting why exactly he's made such a point in the first place. His rationale is that India right now, the batting doesn't in fact look good. And we discuss it in 2 points, but first, let's take a look at what it is he said about the batting and the way it is right now. He said that, look, both of your informed cricketers in KL Rahul and Ravindra Jadeja are injured now and won't be playing the second test. Virat Kohli isn't there. Shubman Gill is out of form. Shreyas Iyer hasn't been among the runs. So he's quite clearly worried about the form of the batting lineup right now. And of course, the major absences. As he mentioned, there's no KL, there's no Jadeja, and there is no Virat Kohli for the second test. That is a lot of experience just gone from the team. And then to top things off, your relatively inexperienced batters haven't really come good. Shubman hasn't been in any kind of form whatsoever. Shreyas Iyer, most people thought would struggle only in Sena countries, but that lack of confidence has carried over and hampered his home form as well. Now, most will point out and say that, look, you still have a Rohit Sharma who you can have those expectations from, but as Bhaji points out, even Rohit's form right now isn't that much of a major cushion. Why? Because as he says, the team looks decent but lacks experience. Yes, there is a Rohit Sharma, but the next best run scorer is Ashwin. In terms of batting, the lineup looks weak. Now that is a big thing to say and something you never really thought you'd hear about an Indian team. When was the last time you heard that an Indian batting lineup, specifically in the longest format of the game, looked weak? That is exactly how Harbhajan feels they are, and truth be told, he's not entirely wrong. I mean, this batting lineup does look susceptible. There's a lot of, let's say, inexperience which comes about when, of course, you try and move on from senior players like an Ajinkya Rahane and a Chiteshwar Pujara, and you can debate whether or not those are right or wrong calls, but eventually you'd have to move on from them. And in the process, there was always going to be a bit of a teething issue wherein you'd be struggling to accommodate newer batters into the rigors of Test cricket. That's what they're facing right now. And then to make things worse, their more experienced batters aren't necessarily available. There's no KL, there's no Virat, and there's no Jadeja, who in Test does offer you a major buffer lower down the order, can get you some handy runs, and of course is very much a 3D player, impactful with the ball as well as in the field. So replacing a Jadeja, not an easy task at all. But according to Harbhajan, he said, look, the batting right now doesn't inspire confidence. It looks weak. It looks good on paper, but they're not firing. And that then ties into the next point he makes, and one that many people are actually discussing. What kind of a pitch are you going to be getting in Vizag? Harbhajan has cautioned against producing a rank turner because he said you're going to fall in your own trap. In fact, these are his exact words. He said India should be careful they don't fall into their own trap by preparing a turner. Our batting unit is young. If they get a good track, they might perform well. That last part is key, that if you give a good batting track to your spinners, they may actually be able to put in a few decent performances. And I think even that first point is relevant, saying that if you prepare a turner, be prepared that you may fall into your own trap. why I think it's worth noting that is because you have seen that happen in the past. There's historical precedence. Go back to the 2017-18 Border Gavaskar series that was held in India. The first match was played on an absolute rank turner in Pune, and it was in fact India who ended up losing that game. Fast forward a few years later to the Border Gavaskar series again, 23. You had the rankest of rank turners in Indore, and it was India who suffered. So more often than not, rank turners do seem to be undoing your batters, because again, over there, batting skill, batting application, all of it becomes a lottery. What matters more is how good your spinners are. And if you're looking at quality of spinners, yes, you can say that, India's spinners obviously head and shoulders above the lot that England have right now. But on a lottery pitch, do you really want to be testing a batting lineup that lacks the experience? Harbhajan believes that you probably shouldn't be, and I do tend to agree with him. That being said, it's very much a catch-22 situation, because as England have shown, give them sporting conditions and they can make you pay. In fact, one of the things that isn't oft referred about baseball, the style that has been, let's say, put into play since Brendan McCullum took over as head coach and Ben Stokes as captain, is that they've altered the nature of pitches in England as well. England previously would have green tops and you'd have plenty of swing bowling. Now the wickets are harder and flatter, so you don't exactly get the same amount of swing, which does admittedly make it more conducive for batting over a long period. So they have had to alter the nature of their pitches as well. So give them a sporting track, and they've proved that they've come prepared even for spin, because again, one of the key reasons why England was so successful in that first test was because their batters came prepared with a set approach that, look, if it spins too much, we're going to sweep, reverse sweep, we're going to dill scoop, reverse dill scoop, we're going to be aggressive and we are going to take them on rather than get back in our shell and look to be defensive. And it's a tactic that by and large worked. India's spinners were made to look inefficient. But will you risk then playing on another sporting track and the same thing happening? Or are you going to take your chances, say we'll make a lottery pitch and potentially even risk our own current batting lineup, which is really lacking in experience and low on morale, to make things even worse for them? It's a catch-22 situation. There's no easy answers, but something tells me, and something even Harbhajan mentioned in this YouTube video that he did on his own channel, that India looking to replace a Jadeja with two spin bowling all-round options suggests that maybe you could potentially see them bring in two spin bowling all-rounders. You could bring in both Washington and, let's say, a Saurabh Kumar, because then all you need to do is drop Siraj, who was pretty ineffective in that first test. So plenty of options, but Harbhajan's view is don't go for rank turners, play on a sporting deck and give your batters a chance. But that's his opinion. I do tend to agree with him, but we'd love to hear from you guys and know what exactly it is you feel. So you can tell us that in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel and tap that bell icon as well. Also go ahead, follow us on social media or on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Don't forget to download the SportsTak app. And if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos we've done and stay tuned. We have plenty more coming your way. For now though, from my side, it's goodbye.